in your house, 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 in
Yeah, yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We is them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Bumpers in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smooth.
Bada boom, realest one in the room. How you doing? I'm a certified G, bona fide stud. You can't teach that. And you are tuned in to IYH.
Hi, this is Isla Dawn, and you're watching In Your House podcast. This is Alexis Littlefoot, the Big Flexer, and this is In Your House.
What is up, guys? What is cracking? That's the Car Man, and I'm in your house. And you guys already know the vibes. Anytime we slide on through, we're here to give you that work when it comes to this professional wrestling business. And guys, we're back on a Thursday, which means it's the day after Dynamite, which means we got to talk some AEW Dynamite right here on the AEW Dynamite. Yeah, review show here at In Your House. And joining me like they do every week is my man. He's representing Gonzo Sports Room, Gonzo Wrestling Room. He's the oldest man on the internet. He's the OG of professional wrestling. Tony Gonzalez, what is up, man?
Oh man, excited! Pretty decent Dynamite last night. I enjoyed it. Liked the way it was formatted, and especially after Monday. I don't know what you guys thought about Raw, but I was not a fan, and so I was not a big fan of Raw Monday night. And but NXT was good Tuesday, and had a good show last night. So I'm ready to talk about it, and I'm excited because I haven't been able to go to the Rib Fest in Columbus, Ohio, for about 3 or 4 years. I'm heading there tomorrow about 10:30 in the morning
Yes.
for 2 days, so I'm very excited.
Oh man, that is going to be great. You're going to be having some great ribs. I remember you telling us about that last week that was coming up. That's this weekend, so you're going to have a blast, man. And we're about to do the same thing because we're about to talk some AEW Dynamite. And of course, we can't do that without the producer of the show. On Wednesdays, we talked WCW. This last Wednesday, we talked Dark Side of the Ring. It was a great episode. You guys should go check it out. But every day, he's the voice, Josh Joseph. What is up, brother man?
How goes it, house? How goes it, household? What are you doing out there? If you didn't catch AEW Dynamite, I don't know what you're doing. I really don't, because this one was a really good one. I enjoyed it. Like Tony said, the format was really good. A lot of strong matches and a lot of good stories being pushed. So, like my OG Tony Peepaw, I'm ready to fucking talk some AEW Dynamite.
Oh man, let's get it going. We're going to talk some Dynamite, but before we do, let's hit the chat. We got Bruzy in the chat. You guys can check him out Tuesdays on the Tuesday Raw review with himself Voice and Kevin Calloway. He says he listened to the watch along last night at work. We appreciate you tapping in, bro, and checking us out. Of course, we always appreciate it. Then we have got Nightwing. He's represented in your house over there in the UK. He says, hey guys, hope you are all well. We are doing good. Thanks for dropping in, my man. And listen, we're going to be talking some AEW Dynamite. I thought this was a pretty solid episode, honestly, leading into Redemption. And my first question for OG Tony, because I know how critical he's been of this Redemption pay-per-view. I know that Voice has as well, and so have I. But I only have one question, OG. We're about to be at the show. How the hell did we get 9 matches in the matter of 2 weeks? How?
They didn't mess around. They didn't have a choice because 10, 11 days ago they only had one match. Last week on Dynamite they had one match. Starting going into Dynamite, so they had to move. I mean, I think they've done a decent job. I'm not going to say that I'm super excited into the world. I'm
Yeah.
ready to throw down a bunch of money to watch it. But one thing I noticed they've done out of half the matches they've added stipulations. They've added the double chain tag. They've added some stuff that kind of help things. I know they got themselves in a little bit of a bind because they changed some things, and
Yeah.
I think it hurt. I think it hurt Redemption a little bit, but I think they're going to be okay, and I think they're just trying to get through it. And I think they got great wrestlers over it. It's going to be a good show. If you're in that arena, you're going to have a good time. I mean, I think they'll put on a really, really good show, but I think they're just trying to get to the next 2 pay-per-views because I think of course the big one in England and then the big one after that with the competition with WWE, the war they got going on a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to be 2 big things. And my question for you guys, all these guys this got released from WWE, a bunch of them, they're free now.
That's a great point. That's a great point. So we know officially, I know for sure that Motor City Machine Guns are opened up. The Wyatt Six is opened up. So like all the like Joe Gacy and Bo Dallas and Nikki Cross and the rest of them. Santos Escobar is freed up right now. I believe Kyrie Sane is freed up right now. So a lot of interesting names, and I actually saw a report earlier. It might have been Fightful that said Tony Khan had said that he was looking at some of those names.
Yeah, I mean, Machine Guns have already did a video, and they're dropping hints. The 5th one that they talked about sounds like they might be going all elite. And if you paid attention to this Dynamite, the Young Bucks wore New Day colors in their gear.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's a lot of speculation going on. There's a lot of great talent out there for multiple promotions to pick up.
Yeah.
Let's not forget New Japan Pro still needs a new wave of entertainment.
True.
They were also gutted. I mean, Stardom. Let's talk about them. I mean, we just crowned trios champions, whatever their equivalent is, and we gave that to the Sisters of Sin and Tekla.
Yep.
So the reason I'm saying all that is because there's a lot of opportunities out there for some of these great talents that we're still wanting to see in a ring. And if something tells me that the Young Bucks already know that New Day is going to AEW. When they drop little hints like that, it's almost like their way to let their diehard fans know, hey, this shit's about to happen. And that's honestly what I want to see. When they go there, that's what I want to see is Young Bucks versus New Day.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I also like the idea of Motor City Machine Guns in that mix too, Voice.
I do too. Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to snub them or anything, but
no, I know.
I mean, Motor City, the Machine Guns are some of the most incredible tag teams out there still doing it. I mean, I legit have a 8x10 of my cousin with Jerry Lynn and then right above it is the Machine Guns.
Hell yeah.
And they
Yeah.
I mean, they've been around that long. I mean, I can almost assume that was late 2000s. You know, so I'm excited to see what new energy it is going to bring to these talents that we still want to see.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great drop in the hat there from OG Tony, because it's something that you have to consider. You have to consider that AEW is going to keep trying to punch, because at some point, and I think you guys will agree, WWE is punching at AEW. Am I wrong? With this counter programming, AEW, and here, listen, I'm not trying to be an AEW loyalist or just be an AEW sicko or anything like that. But to mine eye, it seems to me that AEW is staying in their own lane, doing things their own way, making mistakes, hitting home runs, hitting doubles, and they're doing it over here, voice. They're doing it over here, OG. They're doing it over here. And then WWE is just constantly like, oh, you got something good moving? Let's go ahead and come at you. Let's push at you. Let's do this. We're not worried about you. We're going to tell everybody you're not competition.
Yeah.
We're going to tell everybody we're not worried about you. If that was the case, why on earth are you running on the same show, same city, same night, same time slot? And last time they did this, AEW was like, you know what, we'll move. And then had a great fucking show. What a lot of people was calling the show of the weekend.
Yep.
I don't think AEW is going to budge this time.
They shouldn't.
No.
They should not. And here's another thing that AEW is forcing WWE to do. We recall that they wanted no watch-alongs last Vegas Mania, right?
Yep.
At surrounding places, they did not allow it.
Yep.
Check it. What they're going to be allowing at New Orleans, that they're already setting up.
Dude, did you see what they're doing in New York? They're doing watch parties in New York the weekend of WrestleMania.
Yeah. Like this is insane.
They are not letting AEW have anything.
If you're a fan out there and you are saying that WWE, AEW's not even on their radar, you are a fool, because this is backhanded actions. Because all they can easily go, well, we're just bringing wrestling to them, to the fan base. We're giving them a choice. We're doing all. No, this is old dirty tricks that they did back in the day, and they're continuing it.
But you know why they're doing? You know why they're doing it, guys?
Yeah, go ahead.
Tell us.
Because they didn't do it when WCW came along. They didn't think WCW was competition, and then look what happened.
Yeah.
So
wow.
I think they're doing everything they can to try to keep AEW from growing. They don't want that fan base to grow.
Shut up, Brucey.
Bruce said, this is America. WWE can wrestle anywhere they want, and they can. But like the only point that I'm saying is that could have been an opportunity for WWE, or I'm sorry, for AEW to at least have that time of year in America.
Well, they are going to run. They're going to run in New York, guys.
Who?
You watch this thing. AEW is going to run a show in New York.
I hope they do.
WrestleMania weekend, week before, week after, probably that weekend. That's why
they do.
Dude,
that's why WWE went ahead and already started that, because they found out AEW was looking at venues in New York City to run.
Okay, that's great. Good for AEW for doing at least something back. But what I would do, Tony? I would go wherever WWE is going to have their next year's WrestleMania. I would book AEW, one of their biggest shows the year before, and put on the best show you've ever seen, to the point when the fans go and watch next year's WrestleMania, they're comparing both, because those are the last two shows that they've seen in that hometown.
Voice. What if that very reason is why they're holding off next year's WrestleMania location? They haven't announced it. We
Yeah.
know it's going to be in Saudi Arabia in 2027. We know that already. Where's it going to be in the year after that? They haven't announced it. Usually they have by now.
I think they're going New Orleans.
It could be New Orleans because they gypped New Orleans out of the Las Vegas Mania.
Yeah, I think that's where they're going. I don't know because like you said, we've heard rumors here and there. We haven't heard anything definitive. I don't believe unless I'm not nerd enough to see. But yeah, that's what I would do, House. I even if you did 3 months before they were doing their Mania there. I mean, honestly, if you look at what Mox did for a smaller promotion when he just popped up with what's it? How you say her last name? Shavina? Marina
Shafir?
Yeah.
Shafir.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
had
Marina
that
Shafir.
match, and then Mox showed up with her, and it was just a small indie crowd, and it blew up. Everybody was
Yeah.
sharing that thing.
Hell yeah.
So I would do things like that. But I mean, you also have to look at AEW and say, you guys, this past year, you have kept your head down, and all you've done is work, and it's worked for you because look who is a little afraid. And just like Tony said, Tony's probably 100% right. The fact that they didn't do it back when WCW was around because they were like, what are they going to fucking do?
Whatever.
Look what we got.
Yeah.
I could
83 weeks.
understand being a little scared of that, but again, we have to change our glasses every time we view both products. So there's a difference in the wrestling and the entertainment. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to a guy who's a big fan. I did a show with him yesterday about we do a show once a month, me and Warren, and he's a huge AEW mark, big time, and he don't care for WWE that much. But we got on the subject: why is AEW's growing in the ratings, but their audience, as far as venues, are still not really growing that much. They're up maybe a few hundred, but they're still in the small arenas, 3,000. I mean, their ticket prices are reasonable. The wrestling in the ring is great.
Yes.
I don't understand why it's not growing at a bigger rate.
I still think that there's not enough like mainstream stars to grab onto. Here's the thing about AEW is that it's great wrestling if you already like wrestling. You know, that's the biggest thing. Because here's the thing, there's not like Chris Jericho, even though he's still a name and he's a big name, I think at this day and age he's a big enough name to bring in anybody new to watch the product. So they have to catch it. I think it is difficult because AEW is an alternative and you have to just kind of catch it. You know, I love the fact that they've stayed in their own lane, they've built their own stars, and you kind of have to grow on that and continue. But not everybody in that company is MJF.
That's true. That's true, man. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
You're 100. I just want to liken it back to we watched the start of Nitro.
Yeah.
House.
Yep.
Okay. A lot of those names they had wrestling, were they big names? Yeah, in the South.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then look, we watched in over 4 weeks, we watched WCW Nitro grow into what we remembered it to be with the big stage, fireworks, big logo, all that. And at that time, WCW, if you were watching Turner Broadcasting, you were getting that put in your face. And then those guys that were Southern gems ended up becoming complete worldwide known
phenomenons,
entities outside of your Ric Flairs and guys like that. So what I'm saying is like AEW has, for me, their issue is they do not promote their shit enough for anybody to give a fuck about it. So like what we've talked about tons of times before is if you don't give enough of a fuck about your product, why should I? We should be, you are teamed up with HBO Max. We should be, every time you go to a commercial on watching something of there
Yeah.
should be an AEW moment.
Yep.
There's so many stars that they have in that company that they should be teaming up and doing even solo commercials for the product.
That's a good point, because I've seen people complain about that, about WWE, because they say watching WWE is like watching a big infomercial for the product. Yes, it is. And,
Yeah.
and people say, well, yeah, but I watch it all the time. I get tired of seeing it. WWE's viewpoint is not everybody's watching all the time. That, we're going to pique somebody's interest that normally is not watching. They're gonna turn over and turn it on for 15, 20 minutes, and they're gonna catch what we're selling. So, and it's you can't say it's not working, because I mean, I know the product's down a little bit, but I mean, they went from doing averaging 13,000 people at a show to right now they're a little over 11. So it's down some, but there's still that's a great number, 11,000 per show. So I mean, that works. I mean, they got to find a way to promote better. I 100% agree with that.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and let's flag this comment here from Brian Marks. Tony is comfortable where he is at in his business model right now. Yeah, I think that feels fair. I think he's got to take some bigger swings with marketing. I think I mean, they've got a great product right now, a great alternative. I'm not gonna say, oh, it's WWE. We're not talking WWE. This is the AEW Dynamite review show, and we are gonna talk about the show. But as far as what I see with them, they're doing a great job. I'm invested.
They are.
I'm invested.
I love what they're doing.
They need to push harder, like you guys are saying.
Yeah. Because that's the only way to make it grow. And yeah, is Tony okay in his model? Yeah, 100%. But you're telling me if we sat down and had Tony Khan on here and we said, "Hey, Tony, you want more asses in the seats?
You can 100%
You
say
think he's
yes.
going to be like, no, I'm comfortable with my model. No, he wants more asses. He wants more eyes. And to get more eyes, you have to overdose us as fans with promoting that stuff. I want to see it.
Well,
I agree with you.
Brian Alvarez, I mean, he went on a big rant, and he's right. AEW, with the amount of money they spend for their talent, and as good as talent as they've got, they should be a big. Not that they're doing bad; they are number 2 promotion. They're doing good, but they should be doing better than what they are. They really should.
I agree with that.
And being comfortable is a mistake. If Tony Khan's comfortable with the model he's got, if he's not careful, he'll backslide. He better keep taking swings, and he better keep looking for ways to get better.
Yeah, he's got to. I like what you said there. He's got to keep finding ways to get better. I agree with that. Let's hit this chat one more time, and then let's go ahead and talk about this episode of Dynamite. We got our boy Ribshot in there. He says AEW isn't like WCW. WCW took stars from WWF and took the audience that way. AEW shows are mostly one cold, long match after another. Great product for wrestling marks. They're not going to grow with that. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree that they got to do more. I want to see. I think they try their best with some of those, like cross promotional stuff, but let's see it more. I know I want to get to a point where I'm at with WWE where it's like, I'm kind of tired of seeing WWE in my face, but like, that's the job, right? Like, that's what they're trying to do, is put it in our face ad nauseum. AEW needs to do the same thing. Brucey says WCW didn't take stars from WWE. Their contracts had expired. I think he means more in the sense of like, they went there, their contracts expired there, and they went to that next spot to get that next paycheck, and that came with the name. That came with the trajectory of the character, the Hogans of the world, the Lugers of the world, Diesels to Kevin Nash. It's all guys who had already established their brand, so they were worth money. And of course, at that time in WCW, they overpaid. So, it was just a situation. But okay, let's shift gears here. Let's talk about this episode of Dynamite, and we had the opening match for the TNT Championship. I enjoyed this match. I took some notes for this match. It was Darby Allin versus Kevin Knight for the AEW TNT Championship. I one thing I saw that I really like that step spot. Like, I know we don't like the Darby Allin craziness and whatnot, but the step spot when Kevin Knight had him under those steps, and then he did the avalanche, and then his head flipped the steps. That shit was crazy to me. So I enjoyed that. But one big thing that I noticed in this match, and I made sure to write this down for OG, was that the ref was trying his best to get the action in the ring. My apologies for not knowing the ref's name, but this mattered to me a lot, because every single time they were out in the ring, he was tapping on Kevin Knight's shoulder like, hey, we got to get in the ring. Come on. He was counting the count. He made Kevin Knight have to go back in the ring, roll in, and break the count. This was a referee that wasn't looking like a fool. He was determined to not look like a fool, and it helped the match progress even better and get back into the ring and get back to where it needed to be at. I enjoyed that aspect of the match. It's something small. It's something that the common wrestling fan might not notice, but I appreciated that ref for not making those guys look stupid and not making himself look stupid. OG, I know that was something that was big on you with one of the matches that we saw in the last couple of weeks. Where were you at with that? Did you notice that same thing? I just want to get some of your thoughts on that.
Yes, I did. Yeah, and that was good. I mean, I know it's a little thing, but sometimes I think little things can matter a lot to the product. So
Yeah.
so I'm glad that they did that, and I agree with you, man. This was a good match. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I really enjoy. I got to tell you, man, and we saw it a little bit later with the confrontation with Fletcher. Voice, I wanted to make sure that I said it on this show. You said it. You guys can go back in the archives. It's there on Apple Podcast, Spotify, YouTube, wherever he said it. Voice said Kevin Knight was going to be the chink in the armor that is the Don Callis family, the dynamite that was going to explode this coalition. And I got to tell you, Voice, more and more as I'm watching, as I'm viewing the impending implosion of the Don Callis family, I gotta say, you're absolutely right. Kevin Knight seems to be the center of the universe when it comes to issues, not just in the Don Callis family, but on Dynamite as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what made me see it, but I just see this vision in which the rest of the Callis family is going to turn on Don and Kevin, and it's going to be those two left. There's going to be a split. Those guys are all connected. I think there might be a subgroup that turns out from that, the fallout of the Callis family.
Yeah.
I'm not sure yet on that one, because I kind of want to see a lot of those guys just go solo and tear some things up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Kevin Knight is doing phenomenal. I thought this match was a good one. In what you said about the ref speeding it along and making sure it stays on task, that's what Darby needs in
Yes.
those matches to
Yeah,
make him
yes.
shine. And it's no fault to the artist, because the artist in this world, when they're out there painting, and thank you, Necro Butcher, for giving me a whole new vision when it comes to matches. When that artist is out there doing that, they're wanting some type of validation. And when they hear cheers and people getting wild for that, that's their validation. A guy like Darby Allin thrives on that. So the more you do that and nobody's monitoring him, the crazier shit's going to get. When you have a ref who understands that you have to keep this kind of going a certain way to make both of these guys look really good, which they did, that's what you get. And I thought this was a great opening match. The very opening segment, again, two guys I could do without. You both are catch up, and I don't need you on my table.
Yeah. So, man, you must have hated that main event though, because it was three guys you can't stand.
I'll get to that. I'll get to that fucking main event.
I'm gonna get some of OG's thoughts on something real quick, but let me ask you something, Voice. I want to ask you something, because we just talked about we talked about Necro Butcher yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
on the Dark Side of the Ring uh, discussion, and Necro Butcher and Samoa Joe watch along. And of course, you're a huge fan, lover, final producer of Sabu. You're an ECW guy. And I know for the longest time, you haven't really vibed with Darby Allen.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, like, now that we've done this ECW watch along, we've seen all this, watched all these hardcore moments that you grew up with, that you experienced, and you got a chance to work with somebody who is, a daredevil. You got a chance to be his final producer with Sabu, and then the way that I know when I spoke to you and listened to how you speak about the story of Necro Butcher, I mean, shouldn't Darby Allen be like one of your guys?
Well, you see, he's becoming somebody I'm really enjoying, and it has to do with his title run that he had.
Yeah.
And it breaks down to the first conversation me and Tony, OG Tony, had about Darby Allen. We wanted to watch him wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to see what he could do in an actual wrestling match. And through the progression of that title run, we got to watch that. And I got to see what he's doing. And then last night, I got to see what it's like to have a person who's in charge of making sure the match continues. And Darby Allen was in that match. That made me really enjoy that. The reason I'm such a Sabu fan was because Sabu was the Michelangelo, the Picasso, the whatever you want. They labeled it his style when he was over there. It was Sabu style. What he brought over to Japan when he was trying to get noticed, they labeled it an entire style. I'm not saying that one day they're going to label something a Darby Allen type of style, but what I'm saying right now is he goes above and beyond because nobody's sitting there saying, Darby, let's think about it this way. Let's do it this way. Let's give them this much, and then later on we can give them this much. Again, he's that punk rock attitude in which he wants to rebel. He wants to be the big. He doesn't want to be the biggest thing, but when it's his time, he wants his 5 minutes to be the biggest 5 minutes you remember. And that's what he's supposed to do because this is his business. He went overboard for way too long in his career for me to be like, I get it. There's a lot of people out there who enjoy the stunts he does. I don't. I those stunts to me take away from the years we would have been able to get out of him doing something else. And that's my whole thing with it. Again, though, I am changing my mind on Darby Allen. So if you've been watching the show long enough, you have seen the progression that I do enjoy what he's doing right now. I love what he did in last night's match. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And that fucking little sneaky shit he does where he rigs up shit to explode. Fucking do that all day long. Do that all day long. I love
I like
that shit.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I love that. I loved your analysis though and the breakdown of your fandom and your personal relationship with Darby Allen. So I wanted to get your thoughts on that. But
Yeah.
OG, I want to bring it to you because we talked about Darby Allen. Now we got to talk about his opponent who defeated him. That's the TNT champion Kevin Knight. And me, you, and Voice OG, we're in the line of thinking that Kevin Knight is doing a great job, having a great run, and really progressing and becoming like, I don't think it, maybe not centerpiece of Dynamite, but he seems to be a beacon of controversy where his name is in many people's mouths on the show, but there's people out there who actually don't think that Kevin Knight's doing a great job.
Yeah, I was shocked when I heard a few people that some of the podcasts I watched. I watch a lot of different stuff
Yeah.
to try to learn, and 'cause I want to hear other people's opinions. I mean,
Yeah.
and yeah, they feel like that he should be a baby face or a tweener. He's not doing that well as as a heel. They don't like the Don Callis stuff at all. I completely disagree. I think Don Callis has helped him immensely. I think he's got confidence. I think if he was completely on his own, he wouldn't have that confidence. Uh, Now, do I think he's perfect on the mic? No, but I think he improves every week he's out there, and that,
Oh
and,
yeah.
and that's what you want. He's great in the ring, and I think I still think there's some big stories to be told with him. Is he going to be a main eventer right now? Maybe not. I mean, he's going to have a main event match coming up at Redemption. I expect that he's going to lose that match more than likely to Omega, but I figure he's going right back into a feud with Darby. I would say that may be the reason he may lose. It may be to Darby. So I
Yeah.
mean, Darby may come out, and I think there's still some meat on the bone with him and Speedball Bailey. I think
Yeah.
there's other things. So with Fletcher and with possibly Okada and with the
Oh yeah.
Don Callis family, like Josh was saying. So I think there's a lot of meat on the bone. And to me, I think that maybe they're trying to. I won't say the vocal point, but I think he may be taking up a little bit of the slack because MJF's not on right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
great point. That's also a great point. Yeah, because it seems like he's trying to like fill, like, I don't want to say he's filling in MJF's shoes, but he's filling in the role of that slime ball heel.
He's stirring the
Yeah.
pot.
Yeah. I
Yep.
the what do they call it? The protagonist.
Yep.
He Kevin Knight is working exactly where he's at. And Tony, I'm with you 100%. So I'm not going to go long on this, but I agree with Tony 100%. Exactly where Kevin Knight is at. I don't see a main event yet, but I do see him getting there. I don't see him. I don't see him as a babyface or a tweener because we haven't finished the story with his heel. We have to
No.
finish the heel part, and then we get that redemption of him when he becomes that baby face later on, because we have to digest the food before we can pass it. So that's
Well,
exactly what we got here.
Well, that's the problem I have with people. Give things a chance. Okay, maybe he's not
Yes.
hitting for you, but if he's not doing what you want him to do, or if the company's not having him do what you want to do, then that means it's terrible. That's not always true. Give it a chance. Now, you may give it a chance for 6 months, and you may not change your mind. That's fine, but give it an opportunity to to to,
Yeah.
to change your mind.
Yeah. No,
And
absolutely.
imagine the fandom he's going to get if he is the actual visual reason why the Don Callis family does not exist anymore. The- like the people who hate the Don Callis family will absolutely cheer for this dude.
Exactly. Exactly. They're gonna. I thoroughly believe that after this hill run, he's gonna have a massive babyface run.
Yes.
And I liken it to this because I really like what OG said, and I totally agree, and I think he made a great point. He's carrying that slime ball hill protagonist load while MJF is not on TV. I liken it to the star player maybe off on injury or something like that, and then you have the sixth man come in and it's like, I got it, I'll carry the load while you're getting through this injury or whatnot. And still, like, if he's out 5 games and you have the role player carry them to a 3-2 record or a 4-1 record or maybe a 5-0 record, then that's gravy. That's gravy. Anything over 500 is gravy. And I think that Kevin Knight right now is over 500 as far as him being the main vocal point, the main protagonist of the show, because I know we're going to get to it, but I got to say that ending was stellar. Stellar. I loved how that ended. We'll talk about it more, but listen, we're going to move on here, talk a little bit more about the show, and then later in the show, we're going to give you our predictions for Redemption going down this Sunday. Once again, that match was great. I enjoyed it. We had Bro Dito versus Okada and Fletcher. This is where we kind of saw the controversy and whatnot with Fletcher and Okada. We saw Okada actually clothesline Fletcher, hit him with the Rainmaker, furthering the thought that this Don Callis family situation things are starting to crack now. things are starting to crack now. And I don't know when it's going to crack. I don't know what's going to happen, but I think the story, and I don't know, OG, if you're kind of in the same mindset, but are you kind of feeling like we're coming to the close, like the ending of the chapter of the Don Callis family?
I do, but I don't think they're going to rush it. I still think it's a couple months away at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're heading that way. I think Andrade's going to have a lot to do with that.
Yep.
I think he's going to have a lot to do with that. I think Andrade will get in our predictions. I think he's getting ready to get a championship this weekend.
Yeah.
But that match was fantastic, and I love Brody King, but Bandito, man, I tell you
Dude.
what, he's something that they could latch on to if I really like him, and the crowd really likes him.
Yep.
I'd like to see him get some. I know he's the Ring of Honor champion, and I think Bandito's unfortunately in the row right now. We can put him in with anybody, and going to have a great match. We can put him in with we can put him in with Kevin Knight. We can put him in with Fletcher. He's going to have a great match. He's going to lose, but he's going to have a
Yeah.
fantastic match. It's going to be match of the night, but he's going to lose. That's a good spot and a bad spot to be in because I think Bandito deserves, and hopefully in the next year or so he'll move up the card because I think he deserves it.
Yeah, I think he's incredibly talented, and I love watching him wrestle. Voice, you had a thought?
I was just gonna say, I think once he finally signs officially fully with AEW, that's when we see the switch and where he's gonna start picking up some major wins and titles inside AEW.
I want to see him in that conversation, man. I
He
most
deserves
definitely
it.
do.
Tony's
I,
right. He
oh
deserves it.
God, I totally agree with that. I enjoy his work and everything that he does. We saw Mick Foley; he was there, and Mick Foley was there, and for whatever reason that nobody can explain, he's hosting the face to face between Tekla and Willow, which I enjoyed the back and forth between the two. I enjoyed Willow and how intense that she got during the time. We don't really see Willow get intense like that, but it was a great understanding of the moment that this is her opportunity to not only capture the AEW Women's Championship, but go on to be, part of one of the main matches, one of the championship matches at Wembley Stadium. Now she wants to be a part of that. Tekla just doing what she does best. I mean, she's just talented, and she engaged the first. She took off the glove. She had the long gloves on, and I was like, she's got to if she's gonna strike first, she's got to take this glove off, right? And sure enough, she took the glove off. I was like, she's about to hit her with that fucking glove, and she sure did. And man, Mick Foley was no help at all. If I'm Willow, I'm like, dude, you let her hit me twice. Once with the glove, second time with the mic. And I'm like, what are we doing? I don't know. There's got to be something better we can do with this guy. I like the segment for what the women did. We're just sticking him anywhere and just like, hey, here's Mick Foley. Voice. What the fuck, man?
He's a cheap pop. He's always been a cheap pop when it comes to doing shit in the ring. That's what he does. If he was not Mankind or Dude Love, he's not cheap popping. I get it. Look, the connection is Willow. Willow and him he likes Willow. She's a fan of his. I think that's the connection that they're trying to go with. But it's not Mick Foley who can do anything. He's one enziguri away from just drooling on himself. So, let's not pretend that he's capable of doing these things. Let's pretend that we can pre-record something and we can do some movie magic coming in. Look, if you listen to the Brian Cage with CVV interview, Steven Spielberg loves your product. Invite him down, ask him for some tips on how to do some things and make some movie magic.
Money. I agree with that. The Mick Foley insertion, and I get it, the have a nice day, smile anyway, I get it, got it, registered it, still I didn't need it. I didn't need him.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I like Mick Foley. Like, I don't hate Mick Foley. It's not about hating Mick Foley. It's just about placement. And it's like your placement is weird and not needed, and it's forced. And
They're
don't
they're
care.
trying to figure it out with him, and I hope they figure something out, because that's a gem you don't want to lose. You know, if you have him in your roster, figure out a way to use him.
Yeah.
My opinion, guys, on him is that, of course, Tony Khan's a huge mark, and that's why he's there. But I think Mick Foley, I'm sure he was upset with some things WWE did, but I think more than anything, I think he knew WWE wasn't going to use him, and he wants to be on TV, guys. He misses it, and I think that's more reason than he went to AEW than anything. I'm not saying he don't. I'm not saying he didn't have some reasons. I'm not saying that completely. But
Yeah.
I think more than anything, he wanted to be on TV. WWE wasn't going to use him, and he knew AEW would.
Can I say something to what Tony's saying? Because that makes a lot of sense. But Tony, we live, like, we live in a day and age. If you want to be on TV or you want to do something, we do it all the time. And you're telling me if Mick Foley did a web show, you like that would, dude, sitting around listening to Mick tell stories about whatever it may be, people would absolutely love that. I mean, like his on the WWE network, his reality show. I watched every single episode of that because I wanted to watch Mick Foley be Mick Foley.
Yeah. Well, I see what you're saying, but I think he wants to be around the wrestling business and wants to be a part of it.
Okay. I get what you're saying.
In gorilla position in the locker room.
He misses it, and I just don't think WWE was going to use him. And and right or wrong, I'm not saying they're wrong for not wanting to use him or right for it, but I just think that they weren't going to use him, and I think he knew that. I do think he was upset with some of the political stuff, and that that's fine. But I think more than anything, he knew he would have an opportunity with AEW, and that's why he's there.
Yeah, I could see that. He wants to be around that atmosphere, and I get that. But listen, I think that I want to see him make sense. I want to see him make sense. And you got Bryce in the chat. We're hitting the chat. He says, "Go join the indie, old fart." Bryce, what the hell, man? Bryce, you're gaming in the building.
I was kind of thinking it. Like, imagine if MLW would have got Mick Foley to come and just do, like, say, a couple shows with them.
Shoot, OVW.
Like, OVW. Like, you're telling me Al Snow and Mick Foley in the same doing shit together? That would be great. People would love that.
He did do some stuff with OVW.
Oh, okay.
Well, there you go.
He was on a few episodes. Sure was.
Okay.
Well, there we go. OG Tony coming in with the history again.
My man. All right, so I gotta say, I made sure I put this in the notes because they did a video package for the no DQ match. I think it's a no DQ match between Jericho and Ciampa. And I put this in the notes. I said, Jericho cringy. I'm like, it was just so, like, corny, bro. Like, I listened to it. He's like, "I am the darkness in your." I'm like, who the fuck are you, Darkwing Duck? What the fuck are we doing? Like, like, I am the demon in the night. Like, shut that shit up. Like, I was like, shut that shit up. Like, and here's the thing. I've enjoyed Jericho's return. I really have. He's put on some pretty good matches with Ricochet and put on some a great match series with Ciampa. But, the whole Painmaker thing, I could just do without. You had him, first it was last week with the too long ending of the camera cuts like me and Voice talked about, where he's just sitting there going,
yeah,
for like 10 extra seconds looking like a damn fool. And then this is like acting like he's fucking Darkwing Duck emo. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, it was bad. It was corny. It was cringy. The match is going to be awesome. I hope to God Ciampa wins, because Ciampa needs to win a lot more, and we got to keep gaining Ciampa's momentum. But God, that was cringy, Voice. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's cringy, but this is I'm gonna put the blame on Tommaso on this one. When you're constantly every time you get around Jericho and you're bringing out a fucking DeWalt drill and trying to stick it into his head, Jericho's gonna go, "Oh, it's the mid 2000s. I got to go back into really deep storytelling to gain the." No, Jericho, we just want to see you have a hardcore match
That's
with
it.
fucking Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying, and I do think that we don't need the Painmaker.
Yeah,
Is it the
Painmaker,
Painmaker?
yep. It's Painmaker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
Painmaker.
Yeah, sometimes these nicknames get a little out there, but yes,
Yeah.
the Painmaker gimmick, it's here, and I think it's all in the fact to tell the story that he has to go to the Painmaker because he's fighting against the Psycho Killer. It's storytelling.
It's story. Totally get it, and you're making sense, dude. Like I can't argue that when you're making that good of sense. You know what I'm saying? I get that. Oh, he's got to get to that last level, that final level. It's just cringy, bro. It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
it's really cringy. I wanted to make sure that I brought this up, and I'll get some thoughts from both of you guys. I have been very, very, very critical of the Divine Dominion. Lena Cross and Megan Bain. I said if they were wrestling in my backyard, I would not open up the shades. I said that, and at that time, that's how I felt. Ever since they had this formulation with Mercedes Moné, not only have they sparked my interest, I loved the Tag Team Championship no DQ match from last night between them and the Sisters of Sin. We saw the return of Sky Red. Sky
We
Red
did.
made a return. She was there, and this is exactly how I think the Sisters of Sin need to be displayed. We talk about Sky Blue not getting an opportunity to really break out the way that we would hope that she would, in a way that we're seeing with like a Maya World. Like the entire world is opening up to Maya World. But Sky Blue's been there and doing great work. And, you know, we don't really have a strong opinion on Julia Hart, but I will say this. In that hardcore element, I had fun watching this match. I like the fact that the Divine Dominion are pretty much just two bulldozers. And even though I feel like there's still some work that they can be done as far as that can be done with them as far as like upping their interest, I thought that match last night was fun, and it was a good change of pace of what the show was. I know we had a little bit of, hardcore stuff with Darby in the beginning, but then after the ref reeled it back in, it came back to the ring. So there was enough opportunity with this match for them to kind of do what they wanted to do. And to me, it vibed well, voice.
Yeah, it did. I'm still not sold on the Divine Dominion. To me, it was some of the spots is like two Chris Statlanders out there, bulking it up and not really. They seem stiff on certain things, especially like when Sky goes up for like that before she went through the table. When Sky Blue gets somebody up there and she's going to do something, to me, I have a believability that she can get that person to a point to where they're almost going to go.
Yeah.
And then you do that to Sky Blue. I think she's more of a feature like that. I enjoyed the match though. Don't get me wrong, but
Sure.
a big thing that turned me sour on this group, and I did enjoy when they teamed up with the CEO, but at the end of that match, if you watch, Julia is laying in the center of the ring, and I forget which one does it, but they throw the that Stardom title, and
Yeah.
it cracks Julia in the face as she's laying there.
That. Oh shit.
And nobody checked on her except the ref, and it was like after they posed in the ring.
Yeah.
She got fucking belted with the
Ooh.
metal, the star point right in the side of the face, because she even covered up and
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
laying there. To me, you can break character to check on somebody because you threw a belt down like a Neanderthal.
yeah. You got to be careful with that stuff, man. And like, not only is it the fact that like, first off, before anything else, like you threw it, hit her in the face, and like you got to make sure she's good. Like, what the fuck? And second
Yeah.
off, like, which is a lot less more important than that first one, but like, you did that to a fucking Stardom Championship. Like, we're supposed to be promoting Stardom, not making them look like shit. That's
Yeah.
why their titles are on your TV. So like, I don't know. That once again I was cleaning around the house, full transparency, so I must have missed that part. But it was that's crazy. That's
Go
crazy.
back
Oh,
and check it out
I'm
and
gonna
tell
go
me
back and
what you
yeah.
think.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
back and check it out for sure. I'm for sure gonna go back and check it out. But let's get to this main event real quick. Then we're gonna take our break and come back and go through our predictions here. OG, we had the main event, which was a six-man between Moxley, Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega, and the CMLL champion Hichiro, Jake Doyle, and Brian Cage. Uh, this match was cool. It was what it was. My
Yeah.
biggest thing is I really wish, like, Brian Cage, man, he's one of those guys that you're like, why are we not doing more with him? Like, I feel like that's something we've talked about on this show before, and it's great that he's like main eventing Dynamite, but it's like if this guy was on the WWE level, they'd be trying to push his ass to the moon. He's cut from that cloth. So I don't know, man. It was what it was. For me, it was the ending, and the ending that had Kevin Knight standing tall in the middle of the ring after he flew out of frame. At what Kevin Knight, or I'm sorry, Omega was setting up RPG Vice for the big V trigger, and he's setting them up. I'm like, why is he taking forever to set them up? He's doing this whole pose, bang, 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 and then he hits the rope. Whatever. I'm like, okay, he's gonna get him. And then once again, like I said, out of frame, Kevin Knight not only flies through the sky like the jet that he is, he cracks Kenny Omega right in the dome with the TNT Championship out of midair, and I love the shot of going down to Kenny Omega, blood leaking out of his forehead from that shot. I loved that ending. I don't think Kevin Knight's winning Sunday. Nothing in me thinks Kevin Knight is winning Sunday. But damn, if you wanted to make him look strong heading into the pay-per-view, you did a damn great job of doing it.
Yeah, I agree. I enjoyed that spot. Wasn't a big fan of the match. It was okay, kind of like you guys. Actually, same thing on the women's match. I wasn't a big fan. It was fine. But actually, I thought the show was great until the last two matches fell off for me just a little bit. But I did
Mhm.
like the end. I did like the ending with Knight. It came out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting that, so I thought that looked great. And real quick on Brian Cage and Jake Doyle, I think if you put them two together and put Davis with him as a six man tag. Who in the hell's gonna beat them three?
Nobody. Three big, giant,
Oh, I
brawny,
mean,
fast,
yeah,
agile.
yeah. I mean, ain't nobody gonna beat them three. So I'd like to see
Sub
him team something with
factions.
those guys. Yep,
Sub
yep.
factions. OG Tony. That's what I'm saying with this blow up will happen.
Yeah, I agree. But
Yeah,
yeah, I thought the match was fine. But yeah, uh, it it was what it was. I mean, but yeah, I love the night ending.
yeah. The ending was the thing that got me over when that happened. Voice, your thoughts on it before we get some quick ratings, then we'll hit our break.
I'll just give some real quick thoughts. If you go back and you watch that match, Kenny Omega goes to pull up. I forget who he has, but he has him in where he does that quick release suplex.
Yeah,
Uh, and Moxley came in with a boot.
he completely missed
Moxley,
him.
he missed it by 7 miles and
Oh my
2/3,
god. He
and
didn't
then
even feel the
tried to
wind. He
sell.
did not even feel the wind on that boot, bro, at all. And the camera caught it flush. Like, he completely missed him, voice. Oh my
Dude,
God.
I seen that, and I just went, "Are you kidding me?" But yeah, like I'm with you guys. The match was what it was. Brian Cage. Tony called this months ago. Go back when Brian Cage came back. Tony said, "I love the fact that he's here, but I'm telling you right now, they're not going to do anything with him." And we're standing there. Yes, is he in the main event? 100%. But he needs to be featured more. If he's in your family and your faction, use him as the pit bull. He is Brian Cage. Like,
Yeah.
I want to see more of him, and I think a trios with those guys would be amazing. Tony, OG, I think you really hit it there.
Yeah.
Yes, that dragon snap suplex.
Yes,
Thank you,
yes,
Fightins
thank you,
one.
Fightins.
I
Yeah,
know
you
you're
were
a
the
big Omega mark.
Three guys that voice is not vibing with, and they put him in a 6-man tag. He
Dude,
doesn't
get
like
outta
Will
here.
Ospreay, he doesn't like Moxley, and he doesn't like Kenny Omega, and they put him in a 6-man tag. Maybe Tony Khan is listening, and he said, "Hey, for this episode of Dynamite, I'm gonna fuck with the voice. I'm gonna fuck with the voice." We see you, Tony Khan. We see you, Tony. All right, man. Let's give our ratings on the show. Then we're gonna hit our break. For me, I'm gonna say this was a solid 7.5. Didn't hate it, didn't love it. It was a 7.5 out of 10. Good episode to lead us to redemption. OG, what do you got?
It's exactly what I had down. 7.5.
Hey, yep, yes. That's why I thought that's where I pinpointed that. Voice, what about you, my brother?
I got it at a 7.9. I thought it was a
Okay.
really decent show and not a bad one to kick off going into Redemption. So I'm looking forward to Redemption.
Yeah,
You did
I
what you
think
were supposed to.
yeah, I think that is going to be a good show. Speaking of good shows, listen, we've got some new.
Your
Sunday, but also we have All In London next month in August. We got some news regarding that. Also, we are going to be talking AEW Redemption, giving our quick predictions on that. We're going to fire them off real quick. We're going to do all that and so much more on the other side of this break.
Hello everyone, it's the Pope Elijah Burke, founder and president of the Love Alive charity. I wanted to take this brief moment to share with you my charity's continued humanitarian efforts to positively impact the impoverished communities in and around the greater Jacksonville area. This cannot be possible without your support. If you'd be so kind, please take a moment to visit our website, love-alive.org, to learn more about the charity and its mission. Also, feel free to donate to our 501c3 organization that operates off of the donation of the public, which is you. Whether that be by website or via Cash App, $1 help makes a difference in the lives of others as we continue to positively influence many people by being the change that we wish to see in the world.
Welcome to the Brainbuster T-shirt website where your favorite podcast team in your house lives. Look at all these fantastic options you have.
If you want that sweet hype, we got it. You want to be divinely designed at yours. Have you lost your voice? We have all that voice merch for you. Are you just a part of the household? We got that too. Brainbuster Tees is where our YH live. Brainbuster Tees is where our YH live.
Hey guys, it's the executive producer of the In Your House podcast, Alakan the Con Man House, here to tell you on this commercial break to like and subscribe to In Your House on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook at the In Your House Wrestling Podcast. Subscribe on Twitch at Team IYH. And remember to follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And leave a review and 5-star rating. We thank you for your continued support. It all helps for us to stay charted and continue to give you that work. Hey guys, welcome back to In Your House, the AEW Dynamite review show, and I'm hanging out with OG Tony Gonzalez from Gonzo Sports Room, Gonzo Wrestling Room, and of course my boy, the voice, Josh Joseph. And this episode is brought to you by Goalie Nutrition. Whether you're looking to support your daily wellness, gut health, or just taking vitamins a little more enjoyable, Goalie has you covered with their delicious gummy supplements. Head on over to Goalie.com and use promo code IYH at checkout to save 25% off your order. That's Goalie.com, promo code IYH for 25% off. Fuel your body and keep the work going because it's all part of the work. And of course, check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and of course, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and Facebook Live. So, all right, fellas, we have got a full match card here to go over in terms of predictions. We're going to give our predictions for Redemption this Sunday. We're going to start it here with a now complete we got the 6-man ladder match that is now complete. So at this point, I mean, they've already done the tapings, but I'll try to keep it spoiler free here. So you have Speedball Mike Bailey, who's already in there. You got Jungle Jack Perry, who's already in there. You got Commander, the Beast Mortos. You have it's either going to be Nick Wayne or A.R. Fox after Collision airs, and then it's either going to be El Clone or Leo Rush after Collision airs. Once again, the tapings are going on tonight, so I already know who has won it, but I'm not going to spoil it for any AEW watchers out there. OG, who do you got in the 6-man ladder match that is going to determine who gets a shot at the International Championship at a future date?
I'm going to go with Jack Perry.
Jack Perry, yeah. I think I'm with you on that one. Voice, what about you?
Son of a bitch, OG Tony. Jack Perry, man. I think, like I said, when I picked him to be one of one of the pillars again.
Yeah.
Jack Perry. I think there's a big rise with him. I think he gets this win.
Yeah, I think it's Jack Perry.
I want it to be Leo Rush, but
yeah,
that's who I want it to be, but I don't think it's going to be.
Oh, I 100%, like, my pick is 100% Leo Rush. But if we're talking realistic in the trajectory, I can't see anybody else except for Jack Perry winning this thing, if I'm being honest. I mean, the only other person besides him that I think would have the big trajectory to win it is Leo Rush. Because Leo Rush has had such a big, rise. Everybody else just kind of feels like they're there to kind of, do spots in the match and whatnot. But Jack Perry feels like the clear winner. So now we have the double chain tag team match between the Bang Bang Gang, that's Jay White and Juice Robinson, and the Dogs, David Finlay and Clark Connor. So if I looked this up, and if it's correct what I looked up, both teams are going to be chained, like the teammates will be chained to each other, and they're going to fight while they're chained to each other against the other team while they're chained to each other. Okay, all right. I just want to be clear on that. OG, who do you think is going to win this match?
This is a tough one. I think both of them need wins.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Dogs because they lost that match on TV. So I'm gonna say they're going to get this win.
Okay. Voice, what about you?
Oh, I'm going Bang Bang Gang. You never have to question that.
Yeah, Bang Bang Gang. I'm going with the Bang Bang Gang. Jay White just coming back to TV. I think he's going to pick up a good pay-per-view win, and we'll see where he moves from there. I think the Dogs, we got to keep, even though I think they're going to lose this match, I think we got to keep the Dogs hot because they're going to be a big part of this tag team division in the future, and I don't want the Dogs to get lost in the shuffle when teams like Motor City Machine Guns and New Day comes in. I don't want them to be forgotten. I need them to keep picking up wins after this and get into that spot because they are part of what the tag team division is right now before what I think is going to be a big massive influx of talent for the tag team division moving forward, and I think they need to be in that mix.
That's just going to give them more opportunity when those other teams come. Trust
for sure.
Trust
for
me.
sure. I agree.
Dogs
with that.
ain't going nowhere.
They don't need to go anywhere. They need to stay right where they are. I like that team. All right, we got a no holds barred match between the Painmaker Chris Jericho and the Psycho Killer Tommaso Ciampa. Once again, I said earlier, thought the promos were cringe, but I think this match is gonna go hard. OG, who do you think is gonna win?
I think it's got to be the Psycho Killer, man. I think if they don't have him win, I think it's a big mistake.
Yeah. Oh, Voice, what about you, man?
I want it to be the Psycho Killer, but it's a Jericho match, and they're trying to tell a story. Psycho Killer isn't psycho enough. Jericho wins this one.
Damn it, that makes sense. That makes sense. Damn it, it makes sense. But I'm going with Tommaso Ciampa. I love his run. I love what he's doing in AEW. Nothing against Jericho. Once again, was critical of the promo, but I've loved Jericho and what he's been doing since he came back to AEW. But man, I am just so pro Psycho Killer right now. He's doing amazing work, and I just want the world for him right now. I'm gonna say Tommaso Ciampa. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm gonna go with my fandom on that one. I'm going with Tommaso Ciampa. Will Ospreay and Jon Moxley, they're going up against the Young Bucks. I think this match is going to be pretty story heavy with Will Ospreay and Jon Moxley. We kind of saw some pushing and shoving between Ospreay and Omega, and then Jon Moxley and Omega after the V trigger that Jon Moxley got hit with. What do you think, OG? Who do you think is going to win this match? Ospreay, Moxley, or the Young Bucks?
I'm going to go with. It could end up being a DQ match and get thrown out, but I'm gonna go with Moxley and Ospreay win.
Okay. What about you, Voice?
I'm going Bucks, and Mox and Ospreay start to fracture even more.
Ooh, you think we can maybe get a little pushing and shoving?
And that's what cost them the match. Young Bucks take advantage of it.
Yeah, I was teetering on this one. Honestly, when I'm looking at this card, I'm really not hating this pay-per-view. I still say it was unnecessary, but damn, I'm really not hating this pay-per-view. But I'm going to go with the Young Bucks. I think they're going to pick up a win and further, and like Voice said, kind of put a little bit more of a fracture between that relationship of Will Ospreay and Jon Moxley, and that's going to make things a little bit dicey heading into Wembley in late August. So I'm going to go with the Young Bucks. Let's move on to the AEW National Championship. Dunkzilla Mark Davis defends against Andrade El Idolo. Man, I know I got my thoughts on this, but it's not my turn. It's OG. Who do you got?
I think Andrade. I think he's hot. I think you gotta go. Even though I really don't want to see Davis lose the belt either.
Yeah.
But I'm going Andrade.
Yeah. Voice, what about you, man?
Andrade all day long. This is the start of my story that I've been saying Andrade is going to do. We are getting 3-belt Andrade.
How you know?
How you know?
Well, one thing I feel like I know is that we're going to see Andrade hoisting the AEW National Championship at the end of Redemption. And I think we could see the beginning of 3-belt Andrade, as we talked about last week as well, and hinting towards. I love what Andrade is doing. I love the fact that he's starting to figure it out. I wanted this guy to be where he needs to be at for so many years. Needed him to get out of his own way. Needed him to figure it out. I think his head is down. I think he's focused on the work. I think we're seeing a more focused Andrade that we've ever seen before. I think he's going to get those 3 belts. We're going to see him go through the story of losing them. And I think eventually we're going to see him become the AEW champion if he stays on the trajectory that he's at right now. I'm enjoying Andrade quite a bit. All right. Let's go to the TBS Championship. Hikaru Shida versus the Red Hot Maya World. OG, what do you think?
I think they should pull the trigger. I'm gonna go with Sheeta's gonna win, but I think Maya World should get that belt. They should pull the trigger.
Okay, all right. Voice, what about you?
Oh, I think they're going to pull the trigger and give it to Maya World because Sheeta is definitely a talent that you can do that with. She's done what she should with having this title. It's time, and it's time because Maya has said yes to the opportunities. So it's time to give her a gift.
Part of me feels like OG could be right and that we could see, because here's the thing. Maya has been on this she's been on this high right now where it's like, even though she even though she made it to the finals and lost, she was playing with house money at that point anyway. When she was trying to compete and find her spot to be where Willow was at right now, she didn't win it, but she was great to be in that spot. It was great to be in that spot. I think that, if her being in the spot to beat Sheeta, if she were to lose, could tell a story like, hey, I've been taking loss after loss after loss, but this is the first real, crushing defeat that I've had because I felt like that I could have won this one. Like, I know I went further than anybody thought I could have in the Owen Cup, and I was really close in winning that. And then, Willow, I couldn't have accounted for Willow returning in that Casino Got Lit, and I lost that one. But man, one-on-one with Hikaru Shida, I just feel like that was my moment. It would be the first big crushing loss for her. But man, I just can't deny the momentum that Maya World is on right now. It would be a great, great, great transition if they just put the belt on Sheeta just to give it to Maya World as like, hey, you took that opportunity on a pre-show with your tag partner High End. You did it. You were the understudy to the understudy in the Owen Cup. You did it amongst tragedy in your family. You have been putting on great matches. You've been improving in ring week after week after week. Not only are we going to give you an opportunity to fight for the TBS Championship, we're going to show you that your hard work is not ignored, not unseen. We're going to make you TBS champion and make you the face of TBS, the face of hope in the women's division. And we see the rise of the slow, gradual rise of Maya World. She could eventually be one of those natural top stars for AEW.
I agree with you.
Yep.
I think she can get there for sure. All right, let's move on now to the AEW International Championship. Kyle Fletcher defends against Bandito. OG, where you at?
Gonna be Fletcher. I can't see him taking the belt off unless they're really gonna start that fracture, and go big time with it at this pay per view. I got to go with Fletcher.
Gotcha. Voice, what about you?
I still think they're going to go down the Andrade story. Fletcher wins this one. Andrade will take it off Fletcher and guarantee Bandito a title shot at it.
I could see that as well.
Sorry, I got Andrade's story just all mapped out for you.
No, but here's the thing though. I was right there with you because for me, Kyle Fletcher has to retain. It sucks that Bandito's going to be in that spot where this match could possibly be match of the night, but he's gonna lose it. But in order to tell the story the right way, Kyle Fletcher has to be the champion when Andrade takes it from him. He has to take it from everybody in the Don Callis family because he said he's going to take everything from them. So if Bandito becomes champion at Redemption, that null and voids that story. Kyle Fletcher's got to win in a banger. So I'm saying Kyle Fletcher. Okay, AEW World Tag Team Championship, Adam Copeland, Christian Cage, champions up against the Death Riders, Pac and Claudio Castagnoli. OG, who do you got?
I'm going Cope and Cage.
Okay. What about you, Voice?
Cope and Cage, because of all the other tag teams that are coming in. I think they want to do something special with this last title run with Cope and Cage.
I think so too. I think it's going to be Cope and Cage. I think they're going to have a great match with Pac and Claudio. And this is the type of opponents that they need to have during this tag team championship reign while we're waiting for those tag teams to come. I love the use of the Death Riders. You had the other members of the Death Riders fight for the tag team championships just like a week ago. They didn't get the job done. Now you're bringing in the next up, as far as who you consider to be in the hierarchy of the Death Riders. Yeah, Pac and Claudio are coming, and it's really going to prove Cope and Cage's worth if they can beat those two, and I think that they will. Okay, the AEW World Women's Championship, Tekla going up against Willow Nightingale. Winner doesn't only become champion, but they go on to face Mercedes Moné at All in London and Wembley. OG, who do you got?
This is a tough one. I'm a big Willow fan, but I think Tekla deserves to be in that match. So I'm going to go with Tekla. I'm going to go with Tekla right now.
Gotcha. Voice?
I'm with Tony. I think it will be Tekla, but I think Willow will be in that match at Wembley, and it'll turn into a triple threat.
Okay.
That's a good thought.
Tony's going to want most of a big push into the women's division for that match.
I love the idea of them doing the triple threat. Something inside of me just feels like they want that Mercedes Moné and Willow Nightingale one-on-one. I'm gonna say Willow, but I'm not. I'm gonna say Willow, but I'm reluctant on saying Willow because I don't know. I don't know where Tekla plays into anything past that, and because I don't know that. I'm going off the gut feeling that they want the one-on-one, but I'm also unsure because what does Tekla do past that? Because he does deserve to be in that spot. So I'm reluctantly saying Willow, and we'll continue that conversation next week when that is set in stone. Or even this Sunday. We might have an opportunity to talk about it this Sunday as well before the pay-per-view goes on the air. Okay, main event time, because we got to get OG out of here. AEW World Championship, Kenny Omega versus Kevin Knight. OG, who do you got?
Kenny Omega.
Yeah. Voice?
Kenny Omega, but I am also saying that I think this might also produce a triple threat where Moxley inserts himself in that match.
Ooh, okay.
Dude, I'm swinging for the fences. I'm trying to put my Tony Khan glasses on.
Yeah, man. I'm not mad at it. I think it's Kenny Omega's winning. I mean, This match is going to be great. Honestly, there's a lot of great matches there, but between the ladder match, the international championship match, and then the world championship match, any one of those matches could be match of the night. But they really did a great job on this card. I'm excited for Redemption. I'm going to check out what I can check out. We're not going to do any live stream on that, but we are going to be doing a live stream for All in London here at In Your House. So we're going to be up early with you guys out there in the household checking out All in London. We're also going to have our UK correspondent Nightwing. He's going to be there live at All In. So we're going to be getting some information, some pictures, some videos and stuff from him from Wembley. So we're going to get that information. But we're going to slide out of here, call this a really great episode. It was another great episode of the AEW Dynamite Review Show. And of course, it can't be great without the OG of professional wrestling. That's OG Tony. Where can they catch you and everything you're doing?
Here just in a few minutes, I'll be on Gonzo's Sports Room and Gonzo's Wrestling Room with Face or Heel Pro Wrestling Talk. And then at 10 o'clock, we'll be back with Gonzo's Sports Room. We'll be talking a little Caitlin Clark. We'll be talking some NBA, baseball, basketball, all kinds of stuff.
Oh, man, always a great job you guys are doing those shows. Always a lot of hard work. We're going to have OG and Chris helping us out this coming week for our after-party shows, after Raws and SmackDowns. We're going to be getting those slowly off the ground, so we appreciate all the work that you're doing. Voice, you do a lot of great work here. Where can they catch you and everything you're doing?
All right, fans, before I say it, go ahead and get that QR code at the top of the screen. That will take you directly to Gonzo's Sports Room and Wrestling Room and all the things that they're going on, because you're going to want to listen to some of these things. Some of their discussions are pretty great. I enjoy it. But for me, you can come back here 6 p.m. Thursday where we talk AEW Dynamite. You've seen it. You love it. You know it. After that, Tuesday, 6:15 is when we go live. Me, Kevin Calloway, Bruzy, we talk Monday Night Raw. That's a fun time. You can come and do that. And it gets wild over there.
It's a good time.
This last one was pretty wild in the chat. We had to stop a little bit. Wednesday, WCW watch along with me and Howse, 6 p.m. Come check us out on Wednesdays where we watch WCW.
Yes, it is a great time. We just did a Dark Side of the Ring episode that was really good, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We're going to get you guys out of here, get OG out of here, but I always enjoy coming together with OG and working with him and discussing wrestling with him. He's a hard worker, and it's all part of the work, and that's HOWSE, and the W stands for work. So for OG Tony Gonzalez from Gonzo Sports Room, Gonzo Wrestling Room, for the voice Josh Joseph and the whole team here at In Your House, I'm Malak on the Con Man House, here to remind you to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to hop on this bandwagon, get on or get gone, because the household is still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day and a great rest of your week. We will catch you Sunday. Peace.
Dynamite, dynamite, dynamite.